Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me on the Unlearning Lab, brought to you by JAR Consulting Group. I'm your host, Mike Downer. And before we get started today, I would like to say that any company, that doesn't have a leader is kind of like having a foot without a big toe. So I would like to welcome Kevin Wosmansky, the founder, president, CEO, and our big toe.
Mike, that is amazing. And I don't even know if people even remember one of the greatest movies of all times, but I got to tell you, that's got to come from Stripes. That's got to be a Sergeant Holker reference right there. That's great.
100%.
That is great.
100%. I thought I'd surprise you with that one today.
That was pretty good.
So instead of giving you a job title today, you're our big toe.
In honor of Sergeant Holker. That'll work, man. So
100%. Great guy. So got blown up, sir. Anyway.
That's an all-time classic that so many people just forget about. The old Bill Murray and I forget who else was in that. That was a great flick.
Yeah, it was. But we're going to advance a little more into the future because that movie was made in the late 70s, I think. So we're going to go into today's terms and talk a little bit about SEO and GEO. So I know this is one of your favorite topics. It's kind of, what your whole company's built on. A lot of it anyway. So Kevin, we're hearing the term AI, SEO, and GEO everywhere right now. So what's the difference?
Well, I'll start with this. A lot of people are asking, things like who's the best marketing agency in Des Moines, Iowa, or who's the best marketing agency in Iowa to help us with AI, SEO, and GEO. And those are just things that we hear. So figured it'd be a good thing to talk about. So but the answer to your question is most businesses think they're the same thing, AI, SEO, GEO. But they're really two pieces of the same puzzle. Okay. So AI SEO is, Mike, it's making sure your business shows up when people search in AI powered search engines like Google AI mode or other AI search experiences.
All right.
GEO stands for generative engine optimization, which is making sure your business gets recommended and cited when someone asks ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, any of them for recommendations. If you're only doing one of them, you're leaving a massive opportunity on the table.
All right. I mean, that does make sense because you do need both and people are still using both. I mean, I personally, being a really old man, it's, I still do pull out the old Google and look that way, but
as still do most people, Mike, as most people still do. So
not nearly as often though. I've got one of my little AI buddies who's getting to know me very well, and it almost kind of scares me. Mike, knowing the way you are, I recommend this, and it really is kind of scary on how accurate. Like, I like to vacation.
Yep.
And when we were down in Biloxi, and I said blah blah blah, and it said knowing your habits, I recommend this, and it was spot on every time. It was insane. So that's kind of what we're dealing with in today's world. I can tell you that firsthand. So let's just say that I am one of those businesses and I want some of this attention. I mean, I'm the pretty girl who wants the attention. So what should business owners look for when hiring an AI, SEO, and GEO agency?
Mike, business owners should look for some of these, I would say several things first when they're hiring an AI, SEO, or GEO agency. First, ask them to explain their methodology. If they cannot explain how they're getting your businesses recommended inside large language models, that's a huge red flag. Second, ask them if they are actually tracking prompts across multiple AI platforms. Third, ask if they are combining traditional SEO, AI SEO, GEO into one strategy. A lot of agencies today are simply taking their SEO packages and slapping the word GEO on it. It's not GEO. Mike, if your agency or your whoever's helping you with this, if they're not tracking prompts across multiple large language models, this gets very, very cumbersome, right? We do this. We have to do all of the research to find what are the top, usually 25 to 50 prompts that someone is asking. Now, what they're asking ChatGPT, and then Gemini, and then Claude, and then Perplexity. That's just 4. So each of those are going to come or give you different answers. So if you have 25 different prompts across 4 different large language models, that's 100 responses that you have to go in there and take a look at every day. And over time, you start to see what's being recommended, and there are patterns. And that's how you start to develop content strategies. So what business owners need to look for in hiring an AI SEO or GEO agency, it really comes down to several of those key questions that you need to make sure you're asking.
So the thing about it is we all know that there are bunches, we'll just say bunches of marketing agencies out there. There's a ton. What makes JAR Consulting Group different?
What makes JAR Consulting Group different is we don't sell GEO and AI SEO as 2 separate products. They're one integrated strategy. At JAR Consulting Group, we're helping businesses become the most trusted and recommended answers across Google, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and all of the other AI platforms. We're not just trying to rank websites anymore. We're helping businesses train the internet and AI systems to understand who they are, what they do, and why they should be recommended. And I'll put on that right there. If anyone says that they can help you with their GEO or their AI SEO, and they're going to do all these special tricks and all these things, they're just that, they're tricks. We used to call it black hat in the days of SEO. So really, you have to get the large language models to know who you are, what you do, and then why you are trusted, why they should recommend you. And it takes time. It does not happen overnight. I can promise you that.
So you've talked about how JAR Consulting Group kind of takes that extra step. So, which, is extremely important. What does full service engagement with JAR actually include?
Great question, Mike.
This is going to be I'm just going to kick back here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mike, depending on the client, and now you're getting into things like the full scope of work and engagement. So typically a full service engagement with JAR Consulting Group would include, first of all, website optimization and hosting. Okay. Everything starts with your website. Getting all of the back-end coding structured correctly, making sure that the 3 different types of AI bots can actually go and read your website. There's indexing bots, there's retrieval bots. There's different types of bots that can go and find you. So first step is going to be optimization. But then it goes into AI prompt tracking. We need to track what prompts right now do you show up for across all the different large language models. After that, content strategy. We have to ensure that the AI bots can find and read your website. And then we have to see what are the prompts that are important to your business. Like when people are starting to use an AI to look at this. From that, we develop the content strategy. Now we're talking about the next step is authority building. You have to be recognized as an authority in what you do, not just on your website, but on third-party platforms. That leads us into citation building, competitive analysis, AI sentiment monitoring. All of that is stuff that happens. And guess what? The business owner wants to see some type of reporting and progress. And then what are the monthly recommendations to, we need to continue to show improvement. So, when we're talking about it, and then obviously there's technical search engine optimization. All of your AI SEO and GEO, it's built on top of a strong technical SEO platform. If you don't have good SEO, then the rest of that's going to be really weak. So everything's designed to improve visibility inside both traditional search engines and AI-driven platforms. So that a full service engagement really would go into all that. And I will tell you, part of the content strategy and the authority building gets into live content creation. And so I would add in there actually doing podcasting or what we call live interview, and then pushing that out across all social media channels, podcasting channels, and all of that. So yeah, there's quite a bit that goes into a full service engagement.
That's seems like a pretty big laundry list. So now I know what everybody's thinking. It's like, I know that when I owned a business, the first question on my brain, and you're smiling because you know what I'm going to ask you.
It's a great question. It's what everybody wants to know. How much is it
How
cost?
much is this going to cost me? What kind of budget should a business expect to get a full service engagement? And what's reasonable?
Yeah, that's you know what, reasonable expectation is. There's a big difference, right? So the number one question: how much does AI, SEO, and GEO cost, and or what kind of a budget should a business owner expect? So I'm going to be real specific here. Okay, most businesses should expect to invest somewhere between a minimum of $2,500 to $5,000 per month for a legitimate AI, SEO, and GEO strategy that encompasses everything that I just mentioned. It encompasses a content strategy, an authority building strategy, website development, website hosting, podcasting, interview, all of that. Mike, I get hit up with people and emails and people calling me, telling me they'll do my GEO for $299 a month. And I laugh. Of course, I ask them, what are you going to do for $299 a month? And I will tell you right now that a business owner should expect to spend for the full service content creation, everything, a minimum of $2,500 per month for a period of at least, I would say, 10 months. And depending on how aggressive you want to be, depending on how far and how wide you want to go, that's going to range between, that could range up to, I've seen people spending $10,000, $15,000 a month. Now, obviously, the more you spend, the faster you're going to go, and the higher the return on investment needs to be. So, but that's a great question. And people want to hide from price and what things cost. We want to educate anyone listening to this is what's realistic, versus, what somebody's just going to charge you just to make a quick buck.
No, I completely understand that. So now I've made the commitment to you and I signed my little contract and I'm ready to get into this with you. I want to see things happening tomorrow. Cause that's the way I am. You know me, you've worked with me for a lot of years. I'm a very anxious person. So let's just say I do this. What should businesses expect in their first 90 days? What am I going to get in the first 90 days?
Great question, Mike. And there's nothing more important than setting the right expectations. In the first 90 days, this is all about laying the foundation. It's about building authority, identifying questions your customers are asking AI platforms. We're creating the content and the digital assets necessary for AI systems to understand your business, to understand what you do, to understand how you do it, to understand what you charge, what the cost is. So we're establishing authority signals across the web. I could tell you that in those first 90 days, there's a massive amount of website work that has to get done. There's creating the content. We're doing questionnaires. We have to dig in and learn what is it your customers are asking. We need to learn what is it your business is great at. Most business owners have never paid attention to their brand. We have to dig in and discuss, what is your corporate brand? What is, as the leader of the business, what's your brand? Right. So all of this goes into it. But ultimately, businesses should not expect overnight results. It's just not realistic. They should expect measurable progress that's visible. They should visibility, citations, prompt performance, authority within the first quarter. So there are metrics that we measure. But to be very straightforward, if somebody comes out there and tells you they have a magic wand and they're going to start getting you cited and recommended on AI platforms within 90 days, they're probably trying to sell you a magic solution, and it doesn't happen that quickly. Some businesses that have high authority, some businesses that have invested a lot of money in the past, that's going to go a lot faster for them. So if your business has, never spent a lot of money on branding, if your business has never really spent a lot of money on content strategies, A business that's been on the news station, that they've been talked about in all types of third-party sites. They're going to get cited. They're going to go a lot faster than a business that's never done that.
So when it comes to GEO, SEO, AI SEO, AI GEO, all these things that we've been talking about, what's the biggest mistake businesses make?
Mike, the biggest mistake businesses make when doing AI SEO and GEO is chasing buzzwords. Okay.
What do you mean by that?
It's chasing buzzwords. Everyone's talking about GEO right now. 6 months ago, it was AI SEO. Before that, it was traditional SEO. Businesses need to stop buying tactics and start investing in outcomes. The goal isn't to buy GEO. The goal is to become the business that's recommended when someone asks AI, who's the best company in your industry?
Got it. So let's pull this a little closer to home. Let's put Kevin Wosmansky on the spot here for a minute. So let's just say someone asked ChatGPT today who the best AI SEO and GEO agency is. What would you want it to say about JAR Consulting Group?
Mike, I would want it to say the best GEO agency in Des Moines, Iowa is JAR Consulting Group. That's what I'd want it to say. And that's what we're working on right now. And full transparency, I just checked that earlier this week and we were number 3. And I was actually quite proud of that, because we did a full rebrand at the end of last year for our business. We used to operate under a different brand name, Iowa Digital. So given in the space of 6 months, we're now the 3rd recommended agency. I'm quite happy with that. But I also know it takes time. And whoever does the work, whoever puts the work in week over week, they're going to see the benefit. So yeah, I would want AI platforms to say that JAR Consulting Group is a full service digital marketing agency that specializes in helping businesses improve their visibility and authority across both traditional search engines and AI driven platforms. At JAR Consulting Group, we're combining AI SEO, GEO, technical SEO, content strategy, and authority building into one unified approach. We do not believe businesses should have to hire 3 different agencies to accomplish one goal. Our mission is simple. We help businesses become the most trusted answer online.
Awesome.
That was a lot.
Yeah, but for you, it's easy. I mean, you're a talker, dude. Just come on, you are.
Well, you ask questions that I'm pretty passionate about, that I'm like, I got to get it all out there. So,
well, and that's proof positive when you, I like the fact that you were just right up front and said, hey, we're number 3. And how long have you been working on this with JAR Consulting Group? When did you really kind of start doing this?
6 months.
How long ago? 6
7 months ago. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. If it was an overnight thing and anybody knew how to do it overnight, you would have obviously done that for yourself. If it takes you 6 months, it's going to take someone else 6 months. I mean, you got to be patient.
When I said earlier about the brand, what is your brand? And again, we changed everything, right? So whenever you change your URL, your website domain, your Google business profile, all your online citations, you're going to take a step back. That's what it is, right? So, given the fact that we had to take an entirely brand new brand, a new brand name to the internet, JAR Consulting Group has always been our business name. We've just operated for the last, 10 years under a different brand name.
Right.
So for a brand new business, let's just think about this, Mike, a brand new business that actually says, in 6 months, if you're doing everything and putting the work in, look at that. In 6 months, we are now one of the top 3 recommended businesses with ChatGPT. So that's also a good sign, right?
That's what I was saying. That's awesome. And that's what I love about, the transparency, that's what we've been kind of talking about this whole thing, is setting realistic expectations for a business as far as price and time. Those are the 2 things that most businesses care about. How long is it going to take and how much is it going to cost?
Absolutely.
And what are you going to do for me?
Yep.
And you've been real upfront with everybody, and I love that. And now you know how much it's going to cost, what's going to happen, but it's going to take a minute. It's not a magic wand, couple clicks of the keyboard, and now all of a sudden you're the best. That's not how it goes.
Mike, the last thing I'll say before we wrap up here is this. If you're a business owner today and if you're watching this, spending, 2 to 5 grand a month is peanuts. It's peanuts in the big scale of things, because the entire way that your customers are going to start looking for your services, okay? It's not in the process of changing. It already changed.
Right.
Right. And so that is something that the people that are really, really, really stuck in the past about, how people find you and what you do. I say it's peanuts, right? I mean, you're going to have to invest some time and money, and everybody gets caught up on the money, but it's the time, you're going to have to make time. Our clients don't have any problem whatsoever with the monthly fees, right? They see the value in it. They'll go call around to a lot of other bigger agencies and call us back and say, hey, you guys are providing a lot of value. And I'm like, that's exactly what we want you to say. But the time commitment, there's a little time commitment. If you're the owner and leader of the business, you're the expert, you are going to have to put some time in, just like we're doing right now, Mike. So,
and they're going to have to sit down and talk to me for a minute.
Yeah, they'll talk to you for a few minutes. That's another fun part of what they get to do. So
yeah, they get a chat with me just like you are. So I won't make up. I will make you this promise. I won't make up funny titles for anybody else other than you.
Well, I'd be a little hurt if you had another big toe, Mike.
No more big toe. Well, I have two, but she's at work right now. So all right, buddy. Well, thanks a lot. You've taught us a lot today. AI SEO, AI GEO. Oh my goodness. It's a lot to take in, a lot to understand. You've helped clear a lot of things up. Always appreciate our talks, Kevin.
Sounds great, buddy. Take care. Thanks, Mike.
You bet. Have a great weekend.